Okay. Again. Imagine a doctor sitting you down in a private room like something is wrong. I'm afraid your test results are not what we were hoping for. Then I understand you thought you weren't really ill at all, but the scan shows some very advanced conditions in your body. Unfortunately, the test shows your body can no longer sustain itself. We're looking at a situation where you are dying fast. We are moving from a goal of curing you to a goal of making you comfortable in these last few minutes. We feel it's the best decision to give you a palliative sedation, which will end your life after entering your bloodstream. We feel it's the best decision considering there's nothing we can do to help your full body pain of internal infection. Imagine lying down on the bed, they rush to you. No time for goodbyes, you can't call anyone. Imagine you can't talk and you start getting dizzy. They put needles up your arms and you can't stop them at first. You're like, oh my god, I'm dying. I'm really dying. Did you think you had more time? Imagine trying to move your hand and it's not working. You're no longer in control of your body. You're trying to move it, you can't. You no longer really feel your breath. You try as hard as you can to wake back up, to get yourself back out of bed, to move again, to breathe. You'll do anything. You have the biggest energy rush. Your whole body starts burning like fire. You're freaking out. You're screaming. You're telling them to stop. You say no. You don't want to die. Help! I just want to claw my way out of my body. Your thoughts start getting slower and slower. You can't feel your body in the same way anymore. You stay in the state of complete disconnect. You're like, wake back up, but it's not working. You start freaking out even harder. You're like, is this death? This can't be death. Do I still think in death? No, I can't. I spend so much time sleeping, not moving. I can't be done. There's so much life I have to live. Why didn't I live? You now feel nothing. Even your sense of emotion is starting to fade. All of your thoughts are getting slower and slower. You feel like, no, they can't do this to me. I can live. I know I can. This isn't over. I'm not dead. You start having vivid flashbacks, memories of being little, boring but happy days. Colors seem so bright. Voices sound so loud. You realize how much you took it all for granted. You realize you can never feel color again. You can never truly feel anything again. You realize you can never feel your feet on the ground again. You feel sick and dizzy. The fading sensations become stronger because they're the only thing left. There's nothing to block them out. You feel panic, but you are completely stuck in your own body. You remember the feeling of sunlight on your skin, fresh air filling your lungs, wind brushing against you, grass beneath your feet, the sound of breathing. You realize you could never feel any of those things again. You grieve the life you could have had, the people you could have been, the things you could have done, the choices you never made, the feelings you pushed away, the feeling of holding a cup, the temperature of the glass, the warmth or the cold liquid, the feeling of sunlight when stepping out from the shade, the cold, crisp breath of fresh air, the smell of rain, bare feet on cold ground, running without care, jumping, laughing, screaming freely, the itch of clothes, the feeling of stone, the silence of a quiet room, a warm blanket on a cold day, a favorite memory, a person you loved but can no longer remember clearly. Your thoughts are slipping away. Your memories are fading. Everything is leaving. You are almost completely out of control of your thoughts. Everything you have ever experienced is draining away at high speed. You see it one last time. You feel how badly you want to take it all back. You just want one more breath, one more heartbeat, one more moment, then it stops. That was your last breath. That was your last heartbeat. You realize that was your last moment alive. You are dead. There is nothing left of you here. You no longer exist. Everything fades. Your thoughts are gone. Your language is gone. Your awareness is gone. The part of your brain that let you think is gone forever. All that's left is fading sensations. Even that disappears. There is no time, no outside world, no control, no thoughts, no decisions, nothing. Just emptiness forever. You just want to hear the voluntary beating of your heart, the sound of your breath, the rise and fall of your lungs one more time. You vividly relive the memory of your heartbeat. Nothing else. Just silence, blackness, then the cold, sharp, pungent feeling of breath for one last time, and then it stops. That was your last breath. Your heartbeat stops. That was your last heartbeat. You realize that was your last moment alive. You're dead. There's no more Madison Asia Crowell left on this planet. She is gone. You no longer exist. You feel yourself fading. You feel the extreme pain that comes with the last flashes of sensations, seeing light, making eye contact, the realization that your body worked so hard to let you live this life, and you spent most of it pretending it wasn't real. Your verbal thoughts have completely turned off. At this point, you don't remember language. The part of your brain that uses it is gone. The lights have gone out permanently, never to be turned on again. You can never learn language again. That part of your brain you took for granted is gone forever. All that is left in your body is the ability to feel. Even though your heart has stopped, you realize feeling is the most important thing in the world. No part of you cares if others think it's negative, because the stronger it is, the better. It's the only thing left that proves you were here, that you haven't completely disappeared. Everything else is gone, shut off. You have no awareness of time, no sense of how long it's been, no awareness of the outside world. The thoughts you have now aren't chosen, they just happen to you. And you do anything in the world, just to not let go of these feelings. These feelings you have suppressed and shoved away for so long, you would do anything in the world to keep them, to let them stay, to feel them, because they're the one thing that still lets you know that you're alive. Feeling. Any feeling. You will fight with every fiber of your body to feel stronger. The one thing left is pain. The pain. All that's left. You will fight everything in you to keep feeling it, to make it stronger, to make it as real and intense as possible, because it's the only thing left. You can feel that the pain is like the sand in an hourglass. These are the last moments alive, your last seconds alive, your last ability to feel anything at all. And it's pain. It's so painful, and yet that's the one thing that won't burn out, because that's the one thing that cuts deepest, the thing that holds the strongest. Even now you feel the pain of all the quiet moments just sitting in familiar rooms with people you love, knowing you will never see them again, never hear them again, never feel them again, never experience them again. You think about people like your mom, Vanna, how they made you feel, how people made you feel in general, even irritation, even anger, even that feeling when you see Daddy. You would do anything to feel the panic again, anxiety, anger, irritation, anything, because even that would mean you're still alive. There are so many experiences packed into every second, and in this moment you realize something, the meaning of life that doesn't matter, just live, just experience. That's the point. Life is feeling, life is experience, life is just living because you're alive, and this is the only time you will ever be alive. You can't get this back. It was a gift to you, a 1 in a million billion chance, and you beat the odds, but it's so short, so finite, it flies by so fast. Just enjoy it. The experience, the luxury of being alive. It doesn't matter what you do with your life. It doesn't matter where you live. It doesn't matter if you're rich. It doesn't matter if you're poor. It doesn't matter if you live in Arabia. It doesn't matter if you're a prisoner. It doesn't matter if you're sick. It doesn't matter if you're healthy. It doesn't matter if you're ugly, pretty. It doesn't matter. It's all just an experience. It's a ride. It's a game. You get to play for a short time. It doesn't matter if you love it or hate it. You're here, so just experience it, because it will be over so soon. Then you realize it is over for you. It didn't matter what you did. It didn't matter if you traveled the world. It didn't matter if you talked to 1 million people. It didn't matter if you stayed in your parents' house forever, because even that would be pain. And pain is an experience, and now you will never feel it again. This is the last time you'll ever feel disappointment, and it's gone forever. The last time you'll feel panic, gone. That it hits you, all the things you missed, all the life you didn't let yourself live, because you were scared, because you didn't want to be judged, because you didn't want people to question you, because you didn't want to change the mold of who people think you are in their mind. So you didn't let yourself be yourself. You didn't let yourself think, say, do, or feel what life was giving you. You shoved it all away, and now you feel it. Strong, overwhelming feeling of regret. There were so many moments, so many things you wanted to do, so many lives you wanted to live, so many versions of you that never got to exist, so many people you wanted to be, things you wanted to experience, but you were afraid of how you would look. You were afraid they'd ask what's wrong with you. You didn't want to explain, you didn't want to be judged, so you avoided it all. And now you feel regret, deep regret, that you avoided so much of life, so much of yourself. Everything you did was filtered through other people, what they would think, what they would feel, what they would say, and how that would make you feel. You never really let yourself live. And now you feel the truth of it, the pain of it, because now you never get to. Life is over, you ran out of decisions. You made so many that held you back, so many that kept you small, so many that kept you quiet, so many that kept you from feeling. Almost every decision you made was to feel less, was to experience less of life. And you just feel the pain. You really feel this time, like really, really feel it. You don't run from it. You don't move away from life. For once in your life, for the last moment of your life, you fall into it. You fall into life. You feel life. You feel the pain. You feel the anxiety, the worry, the irritation, the stress, the regret. And for once, you don't run away. You don't run. You decide to truly feel what it's like to live. You feel how heavy it is, how much it hurts, how hard it really is, how scary it is, how uncontrollable it is, how confusing it is, how it has always been this way, how it will always be this way. These are the facts of life, the ones you hated, the ones you ran from. And now you feel it, the pain of life. This is what life is, and you ran from it for so long, but now you finally stop running. You let the truth of life in. That life hurts, that life is painful, that life is unfair, harsh, cruel. That children do get raped, and fathers do abuse their children, and people do starve to death. That life is unpredictable and difficult, and for the first time, you stop resisting it. You stop fighting these truths. You stop trying to escape them. You accept them. You accept that that is what it is. Imperfect, unfair, scary, risky, uncontrollable. And yes, it hurts. It does hurt. It is unfair. But somehow, that's okay, because you feel it anyways. In these moments, you realize something deeper. That this is what makes life what it is. This is what makes it real. And you love it fully, completely. Pain is what makes life, life. So pain is all you want to feel right now. Because if you feel pain, it means you're still alive. Right now, you'd pay anything to be violently raped in an alley, because that would feel painful, so painful, and it would be real, sharp, force. And in that way, you would know and feel that yes, you are alive. You are alive still, because this is what life is. Because this is what it feels like to be alive. This is what life has to offer, and yes, it hurts, but it's life. You feel the last feelings you took for granted fading as fast as your ability to make decisions had, and you realize and feel the pain of that. You'll never be able to hear the words "I love you" again, how it makes you feel in your body, something you took for granted so many times, and now you can never feel it again. You don't really know how you think this at this point, but you don't question it because you can just feel the pain. That last time you heard those words was the last time you'll ever hear those words. And that feeling of grief deeply seated in your bones is exactly how you know that that meant so much to you, exactly how you know that thought is there, because you feel it in there. And things like "thank you," and "I forgive you," and "I'm sorry," many other things that you'll never ever hear again. This realization now is the last time your body will ever remember what it's like to hear these words. And once it passes, it's gone, forever. Like an old friend you will never see again, except for you can't look this friend up on Facebook, or run into them at Winco, because they're gone forever. Because life is gone forever, and it's something that you can only experience when you experience life. Even if you weren't dying now, you would be dying soon enough, because life is short, and you cannot not die. Because just like pain, a critical part of life is death. There is no life without feelings, pain, and death. Without that, it's not life. You cannot live and not die. You will die, and it'll all be over. And it is over, and you have died, and that was it. That was your last stop. And you'll never get to hear the words "I love you," "thank you," "I'm sorry," "please forgive me," or say them ever again, because everything in your life has a limit. There is only so much of everything. You used the last decision. You heard the last "thank you." You said the last "I love you." There are no more M&Ms left in the jar. It's over. That was it. Never again will you watch a dog experience the flowers, or a kid live life without a care. Seeing someone you love's face change and react to the world around them. Never again. That's life. You get each one of those things a certain amount of time before you die, and it all runs out. The last time you heard your mom's voice is the last time you'll ever hear your mom's voice. Because life is done. It's over. There's no more left. You had zillions of decisions you could have made. You could have appreciated this. You could have been nicer. You could have tried harder. You could have lived more. You could have played bigger. You could have said "I love you." You could have felt that pain that life so blessingly had to bring from someone judging you, instead of avoiding the pain. You could have made the decision that let you honestly actually get to love and experience life to the fullest. You could have let yourself feel fully for the small amount of time you get. You could have let yourself realize that the Barbie on the floor or the AI in your hand doesn't get to feel pain, doesn't get to feel feelings, doesn't get to have senses, and that you do, and that's such an amazing blessing. You could have realized that the whole way we live life is through the pain and through these feelings, and that's how we know we're alive. And that when you run from it, you're just running from this very short, very amazing thing you will never get to experience again. I could have realized how lucky I am and how much I really don't want to run from pain. I could have felt the pain. I could have felt that pain. I could have felt those times for once. That was my only chance. I was the one in zillion billion who got to be alive, who got to feel what it's truly like to be alive, to feel pain. I got to feel the pungency, the life this world had to offer, and now I can never feel it again. That was it. That was the last feeling of missing out on life and spending it shoving away pain and not living. That was the last feeling you'll ever feel, and now it's over. The last piece of life that was holding on, the last thing, pain. But now pain is gone, and there's nothing left. Just still black. No senses, no thoughts, no feelings, no pain, no life, nothing. Nothing left. Life is over. Every feeling is just black, static blank. You can't miss life anymore because life isn't here to bless you with the telltales. You just sit in this empty void of nothingness. No thoughts, no feelings, just nothing for the rest of eternity. But don't worry because you can't feel frustrated, irritated, scared, bored. You can't leave, but you can't stay either because even staying is a decision. Feeling is a decision. Everything is a decision in life, and you're out of life. You're out of decisions, and you can't even decide to regret that you didn't make those decisions wiser because the feeling of regret and the ability to decide to regret and make a different decision tomorrow is a decision you can't decide to make in this because this is not the world. This is not anything. This has no beginning and no end. It's infinite. There is no such thing as decisions. Decisions are a thing for a world that is finite, a world that will be over soon. You cannot regret that you never realized how much you love that life is finite, and that you can make a decision to grab something, and hold something, and love something. You have no decisions left. You can't decide to go back. Life is over. That was it. That was your ride. You can't decide to do it all over again. You can't decide to live another life. You can't decide to wake up tomorrow and live differently now that you know this. Because you didn't. You didn't decide to take this. And you didn't decide to make those decisions while you could. You didn't decide to change or to realize that your time and your decisions are limited. And you didn't decide to realize and take these decisions with every care that you have and to feel this pain with every bone in your body. And you didn't decide to realize that this is the only short amount of time that you get. And then it's over forever. And you ran out of pain and decisions to make. And now it's just blank forever. No decisions, no pain, just black. Feel the black. But you can't because you ran out of feel. And you didn't decide to run out of feel. You didn't decide to live. You didn't decide to feel while you could. Now you can't because you ran out of decisions. Just nothing forever. And there is a forever because it's not life. Because life has an end. No regrets, no happiness, no movement, no sound, no taste, no senses, no pain, no decisions. Just feel the pain that's there, or the pain that isn't there, the no people, the no new experiences, the no decisions, the no air, the no light, the no snowy mornings, the no sister, the no crushes, the no secrets, the no love, the no nothing. The no what could have been, the no future, the no past, the no present, the no what was, the no responsibility, the no fight, the no effort, no nothing. Just nothing. Black forever. The rest of forever. No end. No seeable end either. Just nothing. Black for the rest of eternity. Life stopped. It ended. It all ran out. Just nothing forever. So boring. And you can't go back. Now imagine you feel a small but sharp pain. It's the pain of that one anchor emotion. The anchor feeling is burdened in you, but it's the last hidden drop. It hurts so strong that it's still alive. Barely. Just barely feeling that pain of losing everything and never getting it back. The pain of realizing you never lived. And you never felt that pain. And you didn't make the right decisions. That pain, which is the very first primal thing that comes up, is the first decision maker that tells you to make the decisions to make a change. The pain is so strong, seeing you lose it all, that it is faintly, just ever so faintly, breaks through, screaming for you, to give you one more chance, to please try, to please change, to please give it another shot, to please give it one more chance, one more feeling of pain, one more decision to go back, just this once, to end the numb and the endless, just a bit longer, to ride this life that does have an end in pain and decisions, one more time to ride this ride until it ends again. One small light inside of you, so bright, so passionate, pungent, so lifelike, so full of energy and life. And once it gets its foot in the door, it does exactly what pain always does. It takes over full force and unapologetically, gets stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger, and it fills your whole body with pain, and more pain. Very harsh, unfiltered, strong, very painful pain. Pain that's real, and that hurts, and that's fine, and that has a beginning, and that has an end, and that has decisions to be felt more or less, was made by decisions. The pain to have one last shot and to live life. The pain to live life. And you feel that painful, raw, unfiltered feeling of pain in your gut that makes you fire up the willingness to just scrape by one last decision from the very bottom of the bowl. And you use that one last decision, that one last painful experience, that one last fire in your gut to decide to live, to decide to make decisions, to decide to have that fire in your gut and decide to feel the pain of life. And by deciding to feel the pain, and by finally running full force, harsh and unapologetically into pain, just as pain is always run into you, you by technicality, by default, run into life itself. And for the first time in your life, you get to feel how much power you truly have inside when you stop deciding to run away from it all, to run away from life. You decide to see what happens when you, for once, run towards life, and how much power and energy you actually have when you let every aspect of both you and life run and work together, instead of working against it all. How much you actually have right inside of you, and you realize you're feeling again. You're coming back online, you realize how much power you really have, and what happens when you make the decision to run to life and try, and this fire of pain gets stronger and stronger, and you feel that you have realized that you have come back alive. And you realize that you have realized that you have come back alive. And you feel the intense, lovely, wonderful pain that is life, and therefore created it again. It's such a big ball of energy, and it makes the ability to make one more big decision. And first you feel the cold, harsh, painful, crisp, sharp air of life, fresh air that fills your lungs. And you notice your chest move as the air moves inside of it. And the pain of the emotions of life start filling your body, all of your body, not just the one, the whole body, the feeling of the body and that hurt. And the love and the feelings fill you stronger than ever before, because for once you're not running from them, but actually run towards them, letting them live inside you. And you start to feel the sensations in your brain, the sensations that light up with feeling and signal life, just like when you were a baby. And the life and the pain all light up at once. And you feel your brain come back alive. Your brain gets just enough feeling, pain, and life to signal the freak out button, and instantly gets that life rushing down your spine in the form of blood and down your body to your heart. And every millimeter of your veins, the blood reopens by rushing through is so painful, but you just relax into the pain of your whole body. And all of the blood painfully pushes through those empty veins, up against the heart, creating such an avalanche. For the first time in what's not forever, you feel the dump. It's so loud, it's so big, it sends a ripple down your whole body of life, as you feel life from the blood flow down your whole body once more, and the dump, it happens again, and you take another gasp of air, and you realize in that moment, you're alive, and you never want to give this up again, even though you will, but not soon, hopefully not. You take a third gasp of breath as your heart beats once more. And with this, you notice a harsh, sour, stale smell of hospital carried with this breath, and all things are at 100% intensity. And then you realize how much you have missed the ability to realize. And as you feel the pain throughout your whole body and let it enter at full capacity, because you need all the life you can get, and you love all the life you can get, and you feel the physical feeling of all this, and the feeling of realizing, living, having blood pump through your veins, a heartbeat, breath, you start feeling your body through your whole body. You feel your nose on your face, your fat on your legs, the skin on your arms, the muscle on your feet, the nails on your fingertips, the hair on your head. Start feeling inside and outside your whole body as you start faintly feeling a very heavy, dull, tangy feeling in the back of your tongue. and it gets stronger and stronger until you realize that feeling is taste. The taste of blood, the blood that brings the life and the pain through your whole body. Your whole body is filled with so much pain, but you don't care. In fact, you do care, but you care in a good way. You're overjoyed with pain in life. Now feeling and realizing that you haven't seen or moved. The realization, the pain, the fire in the stomach, the blood and the energy has now come back. The feeling of irritation, spite, and will shiver up your spine like you fell into a cactus, and all your energy is now focusing on opening your eyes one more time to see that life that you almost never got to see again. You could see your eyelids. You could see the faint, dark red glow in the blackness of the light that hides behind your lids that were meant to be shut forever. You feel without even first realizing that you moved your eyeballs from the middle to the edge. You take everything in you, including the blood and the muscles, start to twitch the eyes and everything inside you, the blood, the pain, and now you feel the feeling of excitement coming back inside you. You can almost feel the muscles ready to smile. You put everything you've got. You put the power of the energy of the feeling, all the emotions, all the pain, all of the life, and you scrunch your eyes, and you feel every single aspect of your eyelids, a feeling you've never been so grateful for. You feel it, and it feels so real, so surreal, so amazing. And very slowly, one of your eyelids cracks open, and you see bright, blinding light that hurt your eyes to see, but you're so happy to feel that pain. The other one cracks slowly after. You open your eyes faintly, and you feel yourself move your head without even realizing. You start looking around, and now you're in a state of panic. There's people with hospital gowns, with masks that look shocked to see you awake. You rip off whatever they're doing, ready to run, but your body's still numb and hasn't even woken up past your arms. They're all shocked and freaking out, and you realize that you made the decision to wake back up. You made the decision to finally live.